serious?
Yes. And in fact, when
Yes,
it comes, I'm gonna send it to
I
you next
sent
time
it
I
to
see it.
you.
That shit had
I
me
must have been asleep because I
tired.
missed that.
And Dom was in there sending lions and galaxies, allegedly.
That is hilarious.
And wait a minute, Woody was at the DJ stand.
I think Big Bird showed up at one point.
Yes.
I mean, well, there is somebody on here who has Roblox parties, so I mean, it's
I
not a
love those
joke.
Roblox parties. Are so cute to me. Like they're just the cutest
Oh,
things
I've
to
been
me.
to a few of them. Auntie has too.
They're so
Sure
cute to me.
has. Sure
Yeah, it's
has.
fun. It's so much fun.
But
Okay, all
anyways,
jokes aside, Maya, how are you doing, dear?
Hey, Auntie Bella. Hey, Mooney.
baby, you look beautiful in that picture. Was that what
Oh,
you wore to the? Is that what you wore to that gala?
yes, I
You
wore this
look
to
beautiful.
the formal with my job. We had a conference last week, so this is my dress. Yeah, but I'm recovering.
Okay, good.
I'm recovering. Recovering. Thank you, Don. Recovering from the trips back and forth to Baltimore. Recovering from air flight, recovering from the seizure I had, recovering from the man in the tank top and the big ass hat. I I Mooney knows my past. Mooney knows what I've been through, and I have to laugh from not crying, right?
Understandable.
Because y'all, PTSD is real.
Oh yeah.
And it I was okay, and then when I went to Bella's court, which I will probably never do again in my life, it resurfaced of the what is people not hearing you, right?
Yeah.
People wanting to know, okay, but why, right? Even though it was not me that he said those things to, it was that question, right? Well, what you have to do with it? And it was like going through my own DV all over again. As far as Mike, and I know no cursing, so I'm gonna try to be,
Hello.
I'm trying not to curse or anything. But that man deserves every choosing my words carefully. He deserves every hell that has put women in. Because this is what we heard. We don't know the things that he has done outside of this app to that of his ex-wife and ex-girlfriends. And I can only imagine the gaslighting. I can only imagine the unaccountability, right? Not taking accountability for his own actions and somehow twisting words. Y'all, that it disgusts me to a point where I'm in survival mode. Like, that's what I'm doing. That's what the doctor told me. I have never heard someone gaslight like that other than my ex-husband. Like, oh my God, Auntie Belladonna, Bohemian. I'm like,
I lived it for
what?
14 years, dear. I lived it for 14 years, and I watched it with my grandfather. And the 14-year thing, of course, would be the most recent experience. And I felt my insides churning, is what I felt. And the unmitigated gall for an individual to sit there and vehemently deny their part that they played and try to justify the behavior with the tit for tat thing, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think for me, I remember, you guys coming on my panel, right? And you
Yeah.
telling your story. And I remember him coming into the live with question marks, right? And I told him, come up. He did not, right?
Mm.
Then I remember finally me getting to talk to, well, before I got to talk to him, my friend Joker, my sister Joker talked to him. And all of a sudden, it was like he switched, right? It was, oh, I understand, I understand, I understand, I understand. Because that's when he called me out, called all of us out, ladies. And I ain't gonna lie, I was like, what the H does Mooney have to do with this? Like, why are you calling Mooney's name out? Like, what? So when he called my name, my heart dropped because I was like, wait a minute, sir. Huh? You know? Um, but then Joker gets up there and she's like, you're not gonna call my sister out. Then all of a sudden it was this humbleness, right? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I understand. And this, and she kept calling it out. And she was like, you're full of mess because you just did not get it right this in that moment. You know what I'm saying? But it was just the flip flop of him. Like he went from hot to cold and back to hot. And anyone that
Yes,
can
me.
flip
It's
like
me
that
a
is
couple
dangerous.
times.
Yes, Moni, you
Yeah,
didn't hear
okay.
him
I was
mention
going to
him?
ask that because I missed that part, and that's a couple people said that he called me out, but I thought that maybe they just thought he did because I popped up in that one live. I did. Did he really call me out
Yes,
too?
he called your name. He called my name first. Then he called Tasha's name. Then he called Trina. Now I'm not a big fan of Trina. Like, don't get me wrong. Like that's. But I was like, what the hell she got to do with it? But that's excuse my language. But that is because she was on my panel and was talking about it. He called you, and I was like, but he didn't say nothing about you. He called your name, and I'm like,
I don't know
really?
why. I don't know why he called my name because all I did was pop up and say that hurt people do hurt things to each other. I don't know
Well,
what.
that's why.
Oh,
Because you said that. Yes. So he called your name too. Cause I was just like, what? What? And am I miss? Oh, he called Bohemian J out. He called Auntie Bella Dollar out. Mooney. He called the JEs out. He called Public out, and it
He
was
even called
somebody
out
else. And I'm
Daniel
like,
Claudia. I'm like, how is Daniel catching a stray in all this?
yes. I'm like, what in the world? Like DJEs is so laid back kind of guy. Like Jay don't
Thank
bother
you,
nobody.
Jane. Thank you.
Yeah, JEs does not bother anybody, right? And I'm like, how do you? Yeah, it's wild. I hope I never ever cross him ever again. And I'm gonna go on mute because I'm getting a headache because I don't understand.
Yeah, what irritated me about the whole court thing that they did was they wouldn't let Tasha get all of her words out, first of all. Secondly, they kept on going, well, he apologized to the girl, so what does this have to do with y'all? What I'm trying to figure out is how do y'all not understand the impact that this had on a lot of people? Not just women, but men as well. You know what I mean? Just because they resolved it, that doesn't mean that the energy and that trauma is going to go away. Like, you managed to traumatize thousands of people, probably more than that, by just that recording getting out there. And for people to get up there and to be so insensitive to that fact, that is what disturbed me the most. I'm like, y'all have to understand, just because he apologized to her, that does not minimize the effect it had on other people who heard it. So I really got irritated. I got really triggered, and at some point, I just had to go. I was like, "Oh no, I'm not staying in here." And then on top of that, the ableist comments and what they were saying about y'all. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I started thinking at some point, I'm like, I wonder if he got to anybody in there and put bugs in their ears before they actually conducted this court. It just seemed like it was a setup. And I'll just go ahead and tell you guys, last year I was set up very similarly, but it wasn't on that side of TikTok. It was actually on this side of TikTok. Same thing happened. I got in there, tried to tell my story. I got talked over. I got yelled at. I got gaslit, and I didn't get to get my words out. You know, and this person who hosted the live, their followers came attacking me and reporting my videos and all this other stuff. So for me to see that, I'm just like, this is just, it's like deja vu almost. Like
Absolutely.
there was no reason that should have happened like that. I don't think it was fair. I feel like it was very unorganized and it was very problematic.
I mean, but the reality is that, you know, I mean, in my honest opinion, I don't think he got to anybody beforehand. That's how they do it over there. They, and again, this is no shade to how anybody gets their bag. You know, they get a lot of attention off of that. They get a lot of gifts. You know, they do this a lot. They don't get this attention because of peaceful stuff, right? They get it because of the chaos. I mean, you can go over there anytime and it's 8 people screaming over 8 people and you can't understand anything. Like I can't function like that, but they function like that really well. This is not the first problematic person that's been defended in a space like that. And to be fair, you know, someone like me could be defended in a space like that as well. But then you have other problematic people that will be defended. It really is a feral environment that kind of thrives off of that type of chaos. And, you know, as much as I want to say that, yeah, maybe Mike got to people, I didn't know. That's just how a lot of people over there operate. It is a very toxic environment. But what I will say is this. I think that who defends you is just as telling as the people that you hang around.
Exactly.
You can go from 2 years ago where you had the caliber of people like myself, you, Jay, you know, Auntie, that used to defend this man, right? And then as of months ago, you had people of the caliber like Maya. You had people of a higher caliber, you know, like Maya and Tasha that were defending this man. Now you have people that are defending him over in Bella's court. Like that's not a flex, right? Like the people that are defending you are the type of people that would defend you in this situation, right? The higher caliber of people wouldn't defend you in a situation like this because we're of a higher standard. The people that would defend a man who says these things are the type of people that would defend a man when he says these things. And that's not saying much, right? Like good for you, I guess. Like go ahead and go be over there. I don't know. Like to me, it really isn't a flex. It's like this compared to months ago, compared to years ago, the people that you had that were looking out for you are two very different types of people. Right. And again, I'm not saying that, you know, Bella's court, any of them are terrible people. I don't know them enough to make that judgment. But what I will say is that I wouldn't be pumped if people who defend things like that are in my corner. That's not who I really want in my corner. I'd rather have people with integrity, people like you guys in my corner. Like that to me is just as important as who I surround myself with.
Yeah, and then I also noticed she kept letting people up there who had nothing to do with the situation, and she just let them talk to the guests any old kind of way. I'm like, okay, and they're telling her to hurry up, and I'm like, wait a minute now, what is this? You know, it's just the whole thing. I didn't like it. I hated it. And I unfollowed that creator as soon as I left. I was like, I can't condone stuff like that. It's just, no, there's no way.
Yeah, she allowed them to run roughshod in there. No organization. I mean, nothing. And people were not allowed to speak. It's basically, for lack of a better term, you allowed the patients to run the asylum.
Pretty much.
You know, I was very disappointed as well as angered.
I was pissed.
And
I was so
pissed. Right. And it felt exactly like how we felt when this became a thing with us. And people were asking why, you know, in the beginning of it, before it made it to that space, what did it have to do with us? It had a lot to do with us because this was history repeating itself.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to understand that people on this app, especially on that side, you know, people have a really short memory. and a really short attention span. It's whatever's hot and grabbing attention, and I mean, it's really like the messiest reality TV show ever, right? The messy, it's like old school. I'm gonna age myself, but like old school Bad Girls Club, right? Like whoever can cause the most fights and whoever, because that's what puts butts in seats. That's what sells views. And that's good and fine and all, if that's what you guys want to do. And I'll take some responsibility too, because I don't know why I assumed, I should have told you guys, like, listen, it's Bellacourt. I don't know if you guys are aware of what that is. I'm very well aware of it.
When I actually went and looked her up, and then Javon told me how the crowd gets and how big it gets, I made the decision and said, we're not going over there.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild.
We decided to stay in the bleachers.
I said, we're not doing this.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. And again, that's how they run things over there. I'm one of those people that if I don't like it, then I just don't, I'm not going to shit on it too much. I just I just don't frequent that particular space. But as soon as because I remember Tasha kept saying, we're going to have Bella's Court on Sunday. And I was like, not Bella Court, like Bella's Court. Okay. Like this is, I don't know what, but I knew exactly kind of what it was. And I probably should have made it a little bit more clear. Like Tasha knew going in. But I even think that Tasha was a little bit surprised at how hostile it can get in there. It ain't for everybody, right? It ain't for everybody. I'm a tough cookie, but I listen, I'll be in there for 5 minutes before I probably start crying. I'm not afraid to admit that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm too soft for that particular space. It just is one of those things. But again, like these are your champions, Mike. Like these are your champions. Like I get sometimes you got to get the goons to do the dirty work, but these are your champions now. Like, well done. Well done.
One thing I want to cover is that Auntie Belladonna and Bohemian, y'all came in because it's repeating the message. I mean, a repetition of something that happened in the past. Me and Tasha were brought into it by him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was trying to convey to them people over there. And I'm going to be very frank. This is why I don't deal with stupid people. You see what I'm saying? Because they could not understand that he brought us into this, not the other way around. And he brought us into this prior to me even going live about him. Right? Like, he was the one that was calling me and Tasha, oh, sis, I'm depressed. Oh, this, pray for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you brought it into it and then tried to triangulate us against another sister. And then we get hit with, well, why y'all? And I got inbox messages, y'all. Why, cool, you a pastor. Why are you taking up for someone of the like of HB? I'm like, are you serious? Well, I knew that person never followed me or never heard me talk. Because that pastoral S ain't got nothing to do with my moral compass, right? Like, I'm not a Bible thumper. I'm not someone that go to church every Sunday. Heck, I don't even like the church.
Listen, I know you ain't lying, because if you were, we wouldn't be mutuals. You already know me. We wouldn't be mutuals.
Did you guys find out that they resolved things when he did that live, or did he tell y'all that ahead of time?
No. No.
So you mean to tell me y'all didn't find out he was until he did that live?
Right.
And he tried to triangulate y'all against her before he told y'all that?
Yes.
What in the absolute? Let me stop.
Why does niece? Why does that sound familiar though?
He did the same thing with us.
That's wild. Don said he saw the shot at Javon's live. Yes, he tried to triangulate us. We did not find out that him and HB were so-called cool and talking and it doesn't matter if they are, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I was trying to let them know over there. I don't care. I could care less about their relationship. Like, for real, I really don't care. Like, I have a whole job, like a whole career. I have children to think about. I have a family. Like, I don't care about nobody's relationship. Like, I don't care.
Absolutely. But Maya, give me a moment real quick.
He brought us into that. Yes.
All right. Station identification. If we have no activity in this live, the host will get a notification and the live will get shut down. We need continual activity in the comments. You can comment your favorite color, your favorite food, your favorite television show, and tap the screen. Comment your favorite food, your favorite television show, your favorite color, and tap the screen. Please continue the activity in the comments. That way she will not get a notification from the TT gods. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you, each and every one of you that is here. I'm sorry, Maya, go ahead, baby.
Yeah, I just, like I said, and I'm gonna land my plane, but we didn't know until he went on live. Yes, he did. HB did say on Bella's court that they're cool or whatever. He apologized to her or whatever, whatnot. Our issue is, and when I say me and Tasha, my sister, what our issue was is that he brought us in it, right? He brought us in it by, oh sis, I need help. I'm spiraling. I'm this, I'm that. And we never talked bad about her. We told him what to do with his mental health.
Right.
And then I hold alive. I was brought the information, right, on the back end as well, right? I'm getting text messages. And then Tasha came up and told me, and then we heard I was screening, what's his name? Cartel's live, and I heard it in 4K. What am I supposed to do? Not talk about it?
Exactly.
Right? So then he was in there apparently, and that's how my main account, Cool Ass, got bananaed. He reported my live. He reported it. So then I go on live with this account, and he tried it on this one, right? But I changed up the topic or whatever. But he reported this one. But then that's when me and Tasha talked. The next day he went and did a call out live, and that's back to where we are now. But they couldn't understand why we were pissed. They did not, and sorry for saying pissed, but they were not. They didn't understand that. Hence why I don't like being around stupid people. I'm sorry, unintelligent people.
Honestly, it just seemed to me like it was just not only one-sided. It just didn't. There was no comprehension going on in there. There was no reasoning. There was no thinking skills. It's just everything just ran amok. I'm like, y'all aren't even stopping to really ask the important questions. Y'all are only focused on one thing, and it's the fact that they resolve the issues between each other. Okay, that might be well and good, but are we going to address the damage that was done and how widespread it was? That's why I was like, y'all can't be serious, right? Like, that really had me irritated.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I've said the same thing this whole freaking time. I don't care who he made up with or whatever, which, side note, couldn't be me. Y'all say y'all still talk every day after all that? Couldn't be me. Anyways, I don't care who you apologize to or what they feel. That's fine. That's up to them. That's their personal decision. What I care about is that when you got upset, you brought up somebody getting violated at 13 by a family member. That's all I care about.
And then
that's all I've ever cared about. That's all I care about. For me, there's no going back from that. Because if that voicemail had not been leaked, fill in the end of that story. I don't know what the end of that story is. And because of that, I ain't messing with it.
Another thing is people kept on bringing up, he said that she said something about his daughter and all this other stuff. And I'm like, where's the proof of it?
You know, and I don't know. I don't know.
Where's the proof?
And maybe she did. Listen, based on what she said about Petty Rose kids and other people's kids and her own kids, and like, I don't really need proof, right? Like, if somebody said that she said that, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe she did, right? But guess what? I ain't fucking with her either for that. Excuse my language, right? I cannot mess with both of them. I wouldn't go back from her saying that about my kid, and I'm not going back from Mike saying what he said. This is what I mean when I say they both are messed up people that did messed up things to each other, and I ain't messing with either one of them. There's no going back on both sides for me. Period.
It's just, I just was like, okay, yeah, there is a possibility that both were, both were equally toxic. Let's not even skim over that. But at the same time, it's like, there's proof of what he did. Where's the proof of what she did? Because what he's doing is he's trying to use that. Oh, well, she did this to me. She did this to me. Okay, well, where is it? You know what I mean?
I'm with Mooney
That's
on
my whole
that. Like, I was horrified what she did to Petty Rose's daughter.
And
I
I
was
don't
absolutely horrified.
Petty Rose. I don't even mess with Petty Rose like that, right?
Nah, me neither.
Don't,
But
but
that
like,
was I was
damn.
like ready to box because my children are on this app, and often they come in lives where I'm in, and I was like, yo, if anybody come for mine,
But I
y'all can
don't
fill in
even
the
think,
blank.
unless I'm wrong, I don't even think Petty Row ever put her kids on.
She hasn't. I've
She
never seen Petty's
Petty
kids.
Row has never put her kids on social media ever, not even a glimpse of them. Like you don't even really hear them in the background. Like she was always really careful about that. And the way she blasted
Mm-hmm.
them and compared them to certain animals,
Yes.
that black people are compared to,
Yeah, that
their
was
skin
fucked up.
color, talking about their
Oh
skin
yeah.
color. So yeah, maybe she did say something about Mike's kids because kids are not off limits for her. So I don't, and I'm not saying like I don't mess with her like she's gonna care. We don't know each other, right? So I mean nothing to her, and she means nothing to me. I don't mess with people like that. And I don't mess with Mike because Mike did something that was the same thing that she did. Y'all matched each other's energies and I don't mess with anybody who has that energy. I
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah, me too.
Me
I feel
neither.
you, Mooney.
Yeah, Petty Ray
Yeah,
used to
because
be
that whole
so
thing
I
was
blocked her
raggedy.
after that video she did of indigenous people. I was like, no, we're not doing that. Block.
After
Mm-mm.
she did the video of what?
She had said something about indigenous people, like in one of her videos, and she got dragged for it. And I was just like, nope, I'm
Oh,
not doing that. Block.
what?
Nope. Mm-mm.
And she talked about how she lightens her skin and all these things. Do what you like. You know what I mean? But you know, your your reputation and your integrity speak for you. And I don't care what you do on this app. Like you can do what you like. You don't have to care. This is a kids app. You don't have to really care about what anybody thinks, and a lot of people don't. Clearly, that's fine. But when you say things like that and you operate in a certain way, when somebody comes along and accuses you of something, right? If what they accuse you of fits your character,
People are gonna think you did it,
yeah, like let somebody be like, Mooney was colorist. No, I wasn't. I don't even have to defend myself. No, I wasn't. There's nothing in my past. There's nothing that I've published on here. There's no actions that would support that. I don't have to say a word. No, I didn't. And I don't have to defend myself because my character and reputation precede me. My character and reputation speak for themselves. I don't have to say shit.
Absolutely. Hey, Javon.
I don't have to say anything, right? And so when somebody says, but again, and this is what is happening with Mike too, and with her. Like I don't need really, although from Mike I can understand where like receipts are everything, right? Like show me the proof. How do we know? I do understand that, right? Because Mike is a liar. But at the same time, like there are certain people when someone says they did that, I'm either going to say no, they didn't, or sounds about right.
Right. Yeah. That's where it's a little complicated, because on one hand, we have somebody who's notorious for doing things like that. And on one hand, the person who said that she did it is known to be a liar. So it's like, it's kind of a catch-22. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's just kind of,
we'll probably never know what really went down. All we know is that what he said is what's out there.
On recording. And again, if that recording was not leaked, would you have been sorry? And I'm going to say probably not, because the sorry that you did give after it was leaked, right, was full of reasonings and excuses. And yeah, maybe in your mind, like you thought that those were valid reasons. Sure, I'm not going to fight that, right? Like in your mind, you probably thought that was a valid reason for you to say what you said. And I know a lot of people, and we saw it in Bella's court, that would say, yeah, it's justified. So I know there's a lot of people that would justify it, but I don't, because your reasoning was so full of excuses, you might as well just stand on business and say, yeah, I said it. Like that, there's nothing that annoys me more when people don't stand on business. I would have had more respect for him if he just would have said, yeah, I said it. She brought up my kid. I'd have been like, all right, that's how you operate then. Let me make sure, let me just clock you then. Like I would have been,
But
I would
Mooney,
have had more
he
respect for
never
that.
said anything about his kid. I didn't find that part out until later too. So I'm like, did she really say somebody's
Don't know
kid?
that either?
No.
No, he never mentioned that. He just said that
Wow.
he just said that she crossed some lines that she didn't know that she needed to be crossed, and I crossed the line and I knew what it needed about, and I'm just holding myself accountable. But technically, his apology wasn't genuine. He only apologized because he got caught, like Mooney said. Because, like she said, if that recording was a leak, he would have
Yes.
played it off. He would have played it off like nothing ever happened.
Who knows? Now I know that Tasha had showed the screenshots, and this was, I think this goes to kind of what you're saying, Maya. That was the first that Tasha knew about it, because, and I'm only saying Tasha can speak for herself. This was in her public life, so I'm not saying anything that Tasha hasn't said
Yeah,
publicly.
yeah.
On the screenshots, he had mentioned specifically that because Tasha had said that what you said to her, I heard it was messed up, right? And I'm saying that nicely. And then he had wrote a little paragraph saying, she brought up my kid, my unaliving attempt, my mental health, blah, blah, blah. So how am I in the wrong? And that was where, so how am I in the wrong for responding in kind?
Right. But yeah,
I think that was the first that he had ever mentioned
Yeah,
that.
that was the
That would
first.
have
But
been
he never
days. That would have
mentioned
been
it
days after the fact.
prior to. He never mentioned it. So
Yeah.
even when I had my, when I was listening to the cartel, because it wasn't even a call out live, because I was a deer in daggone headlights, literally. But he never said it until, well, he never said it directly to me, Mooney. He said it to Tasha. And then that's when I asked him, I was like, well, you got my number. Why you ain't called me? Oh, my phone got stolen. I said, but you DM me the same day that your phone got stolen.
Jesus.
He DM'd me and Tasha. Like, that mess was insane. He
I'm gonna be honest though.
DM'd us.
I'm gonna call Kaplan, because who who
Because
steals
that is
phones?
wild. And
No,
I
but
How
was
you
trying
gonna
to let
DM
them
somebody
know
with your
on
phone
the
stolen?
court. I was trying to let them know on the court. And then, Miss Petty Rowe get up there yelling. And I mean, she came for me. And I'm like, but Petty, like, I couldn't even tell her who I was. I'm like, yo, this cool ass. Like, I need you not to yell at me like I'm your child. Like, what?
when Petty Rowe yells, you really do feel like you're a kid, because
You ain't. I was sitting there
Like
like,
a
what?
second mama that will tell you about yourself. You really do feel like
listen,
you're
I
being.
don't even I
You know
don't
what I'm
even mess
saying?
with
I'm
Petty
like,
Rowe like
dang,
that.
Petty.
But man,
Y'all,
she
I was sitting in the airport looking crazy. I'm like, what? What did I do, Petty? But for real, I was trying to get that out to let people know. Like on the back, we were on the back end of stuff, and it was brought
but it
to
always
our
is those on
attention.
the
Then
back
Mike
end.
threw us in the mix.
It always is those that are on the back end though, right? Like it seems to me the pattern that I see is he tends to, which I think is where he really messed up with Tasha, because he must have not known. He tends to throw people under the bus that are the foundational people, like the people that aren't on live all the time, the people that aren't in mess, right? The people that are the quiet supporters that are always there on the back end with the phone calls and the text messages and the check-ins, right? The ones that really support him from the base level, like the really important ones that support him from the base level. He did that with Jay and Auntie. They're not on live like that all the time. They're not in mess. Maya, you're not in mess all the time. That's never been your MO. Now, Tasha, on the other hand, and the crazy thing is because even when this was going down last year, they got all the smoke. He didn't give no smoke to me because he knows I'd be on this app like that and don't play with me, right? Because he
That's
knows,
true.
right?
That's
He knows I'd
another
be.
person. Not to cut you off, but another person he didn't mention that was on my panel along with Trina. Like I said, I'm not a Trina fan at all. Was Mo Better. And he did not mention Mo Better's name. And Mo Better came on my panel and she fussed him out up, down, right, and left. And he still didn't say nothing. Then we was on somebody else's panel and Mo Better came up and he ran. He
So,
knows who not to touch.
so cool. I'm gonna just go ahead and put something on your mental right quick. You and I used very specific verbiage when we addressed him. We used words like unsafe, dangerous, not safe for Black women, and
Mm-hmm.
such. Those seem to be trigger words for him.
Mm-hmm. He
And
was
he
mad because I
he
called
went
him.
after you
I
and
said that
I
he
the
was
hardest.
unsafe, that he was problematic, and he was dangerous to Black women.
Yeah.
And that's what he. Oh, you said I'm dangerous. Yeah, he's very
Mm-hmm.
dangerous to Black women. He tried to
Yeah.
triangulate Black women. He literally uses Black women as shields. Hence why we're here right now.
Mm-hmm. Because as Mooney stated, and Mooney has been rocking with me 5 profiles in on this platform. Mooney can tell you,
Not
I
five.
am
Not five, Auntie Bella.
5, baby.
She's
5, baby.
it's true.
She been rocking with me 5 profiles in. And she, if anybody can vouch that I am never in the middle of mess, then niece came aboard. She been rocking with me just as long. I am never in any mess. I'm the old woman that come out, drop wisdom, drop knowledge, and then I dip.
Another problem that I had was during the whole when he let a certain person up there to confront you, Auntie, and he just let her call you out your name, body shame you, threaten you, all that. And then when Tasha
No.
held her live and he got called out for that, he tried to come up with excuses for that too.
He sure did. He sure did. He let that woman say what he wanted to say to me. That's what he wanted to say to me. Because allegedly, he previously, before coming to us, he had body shamed someone.
Pastor Troy, it's on YouTube.
Wait a minute.
Ain't this the same person that trying to say that you trying to get her child taken away from her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? What?
But here's the tea, y'all. Mooney and Mike were both there for that situation, and they know what really went down.
See, but that's what I was gonna say. I shut that down real quick because before he did that, earlier in that live, he was talking about that woman, and he was like, they tried to take this woman's kids, and I didn't support that, and I this and that and this. And the next day when I got on that live, I called him out on that. I said, that's real funny that you got that energy because you were in that group chat. You co-signed to all of it. You understood that Jay was a mandated reporter. You know why we took the actions that we did, because there was weapons in the house and questionable dudes that shouldn't have been. You know why we did what we did, and you co-signed. You was in that group chat. You was cool with it. You was rah-rah-rahing us. You was supporting it. You were participating. But then yesterday you were just so confused about it.
It's on one of the llama pages, I think, or it's on one of the messy TikTok pages. I don't think the whole live is on there, but the live where he triangulated that girl against Auntie, that part is on there. I got to see.
So he triangulate. Okay, I'm going.
And it was she looked.
This is crazy.
She looked crazy. Like the types of things she was saying, I'm like, I can't believe he really is letting this happen like right now.
So I wanted to say quick, because I'm not gonna say hello. What's up, Jay? Hey, everybody. Hope everybody is well, doing great.
Javon.
So I stand on everything that I said on Saturday, to Mike. Even if, let's just say, and I'm gonna use Mooney's logic, right? Even if that is what she said to him, why the fuck would you bring up her essay of her uncle?
When she was a child. When she was a child.
So again, right. So, again, I know many of you on the panel have a low profile. Me, I'm everywhere. And so my name gets brought up in everything. I stand 10 toes down on that. Am I messy at times? Absolutely. And I stand on that. I own that. So I know when I see mutuals that are low profile get brought up into something, I'm kind of like, they're not problematic. So when I came onto Tasha's panel on Saturday and he tried to set up here and bullshit, like as if I didn't see the video of him and Auntie having an argument, because I was asleep. When I was shared live, I was asleep. I woke up. That was on my timeline. Your video, Jay, was on my timeline, was on my FYP. So it was the fact of seeing that, waking up, and like just hours before that, Joker chewed your ass out for doing the same shit that you just did to another black woman. That is exactly why she came up there. So when we sat on the panel and like just the bullshit, it was the don't call me nigga. That really pissed me off. Because we're not going to sit here and do that. And this is why I name dropped y'all know who. We're not going to get into that. That's a whole other spiel. But that's why I name dropped who I name dropped, because I'm tired of you niggas and y'all performative asses on this app. Just say that you protect black women for views, clicks, and for being viral, because everybody knows that that is what grabs the attention automatically a lot of times of Black women, because they're not
Javon, didn't
already
he
off the bat.
say, Javon, didn't he say he never said?
Yes, he did. But that's a lie. We have witnessed him say that multiple times,
Yes.
not
So
only
yeah,
on his lives, but on his platform.
right, exactly, Jay. So no, my he said that multiple times after he had went from red pill to I don't know what the fuck stage this is, but he said that on panels where we were talking about Roe. When we was talking about Roe reports last year, that's what he said. His topics were like protect Black women. Like I believe one of them said Black men, Black women, how can Black men protect you better or some
I
shit like that.
remember that. I remember that.
So he definitely built his platform off of that. Like he's another Brandon P who went from being red pill, switched his platform over, came over to Genty and my side, say I love Black women. Then when the Vogue situation happened, started holding topics saying that there's an attack on Black men. Then he went back to red pill. So it is the performance art, right? And I noticed something, right? So my discernment level has went up. So I tell mutuals, even though we've been mutuals for years, please understand I will go hard on you when you say problematic things. Just because we're mutuals means nothing to me. I've had to unmutual multiple different people off of this platform because of what they've said, because a lot of you get comfortable, because a lot of you get complacent too. So it's not just the people that's doing the harm, it's the people that stand by and don't say nothing. You can't sit here and tell me that you protect Black women, but I see you trying to pit two against one because the one didn't want your advances. And then I hear her, then she's telling people on Cartels Live that you try to pull up on her and she said no. And then that's where all this mess began. So you sound like every other nigga that's in heat. So that's what it comes off to me. This is not a dating app, right? We come on here for a reason, to educate, to be entertained. Whatever your purpose is to come on TikTok for, that is fantastic. However, you know this woman's line of work. We all do. So the fact that you even tried that, even try to lie to us, when she's already made it clear that someone off the app, literally trigger warning, S8 her. Like it's just weird to me. It's weird behavior, weird energy, all that. So all like me remembering all that, I'm just like, Mike, like you said how much you adored her, and now I hear you in the recording saying that's why her uncle fucked the shit out of her. Like this, it just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Can we just say that, let's start it from the beginning, that he came at her at a very vulnerable point on this
Yep.
app?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I said that in the group chat when we were, remember, this was like maybe 3 weeks ago, like before when this all popped off, right? And then I remember in the group chat, I was like, wait, what was this timeline? Was this back in January? Because if this was January, this would have been when she was victim shamed.
Yep, it was in
Yeah, there's
January.
a live he
Yeah.
did on YouTube that is from January where he was talking about it.
Yeah, where that man admitted what he did to her, because that, I don't remember his name, but that man is a piece of garbage, and an assaulter, if you know what I mean. And I said what I said. Some people will say she ended up lying. I don't know. I'm going to believe it until I get the proof. This was a time where she really was going through a lot of stuff with that, and people were really victim blaming and having very disturbing conversations. So I don't know where her mindset was at, but I know that that would have been a tough time for even the toughest of us. And so when I put two and two together, I remember I said in the group chat, and I said that makes it even more gross. That this is when you swooped in, when she was, because I'll tell you what, somebody like Heartbreaker who's on that level probably wouldn't have, and I don't know, maybe, because she got her money out of it. Good for her. Get your bag, girl. I would say she probably wouldn't have given him the time or place if A, he didn't give the money, or B, she wasn't going through a hard time. And maybe, even if she wasn't going through a hard time, then it was just for the money. But either way, mathematically or timeline wise, ew, because if I'm a man, right, the one time that I'm not going to want to shoot my shot is the same week that a woman talks about her essay and the man admits it on live in public on a very popular TikToker's platform. I'm not going to mention her name, but very popular. This was very public. Thousands of people saw it. This is wild. Whole groups were split up over this, and that whole side of TikTok was divided. In that same week, you shot your shot. And I know you didn't shoot your shot with like, hey, what's up? You shot your shot trying to be slick and come in and be like, are you okay, with that little saviorism.
Mm-hmm. which
and
we
then
all
a couple of,
got that.
dollars, right? Saviorism and a couple of dollars that should have gone to your kid, but spent it on her instead. And so, like, that's what you're going to do? Like, ew. Blech. And
Yeah.
even then, I still called that motherfucker at 2 a.m. to make sure he was all right. I still did. 2 a.m. I still called him. He picked up the phone. I still called him a week later to make sure that he was all right.
Honestly, none of that should have been brought to the app, because from what I was gathering just by like looking at different pieces of information, it looked like he was more serious about her and she was still trying to figure him out. You know what I mean? So him making all these videos professing his love for her and all this other stuff, I'm like, something's wrong.
Which also was
Yep.
weird and
But
sad.
it was something
Like,
else too.
it was weird. Like, this is the number, I ain't messing with nobody. And she's out here humiliating you, and you're still, like, honestly, like, I'm not even mad at her. Like, these are the type of dudes that I used to get money for by just showing up, bullying them, having them lick my shoe, and they paid me for it. Like, we have a name for men like you. And I love men like you. When I was single, I used to love men like that, because I would get that bag too, and I wouldn't even have to touch you. I would just humiliate you and bully you a little bit, get your little money, and then go home, and you call me. Like that.
That part. Well, I never done that
Love
before, but
men
that
like
part I
you.
wish I
used to
could.
love men like
I
that.
always told Mooney that I wish I was her and had the freedom of. I'm just going into
Baby.
that freedom. But I want y'all to realize this too. Mike, well, he had held alive, and I think Black Doodoo came in there, and that's when it all started. And then you know, stop playing. Let me get back out. Listen. I'm trying to tell the story. So anyway, so then his live gets dropped, and then he comes back on.
Scuba, mute up real quick.
I got you.
Oh, you say him. So he goes back live, and then he starts talking, like confessing his love to her, and she comes in and she's like, "Get off live," and he's like, no, because you won't talk to me."
Whoa.
Yeah. And she said, "No, I won't talk to you." He was like, "Well, pick up the phone. This is on live." He said, "Pick up the phone or answer my text." She was like, "No." He was like, "Well, I'm not going to go live, not unless you get up here with me." Y'all, I saw it then, and I was like, and then I put in the comments, no. So then he pretty much bullies her to get up there to talk to him. She gets up there to talk to him. Y'all, it was so cringy. It was so bad. It was so abusive.
Is that when she told him to stop being dramatic?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the night I called him when we saw the recordings, and I was like, man, I'm really feeling bad for this dude right here. Like, let me call him, make sure that he's because this is like, because I would like if, and that's the night I called him. I was like, are you
being
alive?
dramatic? Yeah.
I literally called him to make sure he was still alive. That's how embarrassed I was for him.
When I
That's
heard
how
about
embarrassed
it, I was
for
like,
him.
dang, that's brutal.
Like,
I
let
kind
me
of
make
feel
sure
bad
that
for the
he
man, and I can't stand him.
Yeah, and I was like,
But
let me
the
make
thing
sure he didn't
was,
hurt himself, because this is that
though, but he, in hindsight, he made it that way for us to see it that way. Think about it. Because my thing was, why would you even put her in a box to say, I'm just going to stay on live and talk about our relationship until you call me?
That's still some weird ass shit, because I don't know. I still some weird ass shit, because
You know what?
it takes a certain type
That
of
was
man.
done. That was a strategic move.
It's still weird.
That
It's
was
still weird.
strategic. I want you to peep the layout.
I don't know any man that would yes, I do think that that's strategic, but like listen, men with even a little bit of pride would not embarrass themselves that way to be strategic. Like, that's a different level of like weird, bro.
But
Like,
that's him. Think about it. That is him. And that's what makes him dangerous.
Yeah.
That right there.
And here's the thing. Peep the move on this. He already is operating from a low vibrational space. We can all agree on that, correct?
Correct.
Now, an individual who is operating in a low vibrational space will do anything up to personal embarrassment to get the attention that they want, be it negative or positive. And in the strategy that he used in that particular moment, he wanted to try to make it seem that he was not the bad guy. And this was a way to put it out there to justify the ill behavior that's going to come from it.
Yeah.
That's true. That
You
is
don't
so
consider
true.
that as a sociopath?
Pretty knowledgeable. We're referring to
Yeah.
Mike Du Bois.
I do. I think that's just
We're talking about Franklin the turtle.
yeah, I agree. I agree with the gentleman below me. I think there's, I'm not a mental health professional, so I won't diagnose with any names, but I could see that where somebody would say that. I think the part that really throws me is after all of this stuff that's gone on and after all of the humiliation, whether he planned it or not, what was it, a couple days ago, he's like, we still talk every day. Couldn't be me.
It would
It couldn't be me either.
never be
Couldn't be
me.
me.
I mean, I might
And
even
she making that
I might
money.
even
I
apologize.
said,
Right.
baby, make your money. Shit,
Couldn't
do
be
it.
me.
But it
I
couldn't
am
be me.
not I might even say, man, I said some messed up stuff. I'm so sorry. I never should have said it. Regardless, like, you didn't deserve me to say that. And then we gonna go our separate ways. But you know what I'm not gonna do after that type of humiliation is still kiki it like that every day. Y'all still couldn't be me.
Absolutely not. To the shadow realm you go. I will never speak to you again. I will forget you even existed. It ain't happening.
Okay, I would hold a personal funeral for you in my head and you gone.
And maybe, Don, I agree. Maybe it is a giant save face, but I mean,
I would have flushed it down the toilet.
wait, what else could be saving face is taking some time off this app or just not. I think many people would have understood if he never spoke to her. And like, I'm not telling you, they can do what they like, right? Like, if listen, this is a match made in heaven as far as I'm concerned. Y'all two,
Match made in hell.
you know what I mean? Like, but it couldn't be me. No.
He's not apologetic at all. He only apologized because he just so happened to get caught and the audio got released. That's the only reason he apologized. If that audio would have never gotten released, he would still be making his content claiming he protects Black women. He would still be hosting his live streams claiming that he protects Black women. Nothing would have changed. He would still be walking amongst everybody like he's the savior of Black women. He just so happened to get caught and he tried to run this god awful form of damage control that backfired and got called out. And that's why we're here right now.
You mean to tell me that not only the same day that you said y'all talk every day, she was in Cartel's Live that morning, not talking shit about you, but not stopping this man from talking shit about you. You mean to tell me that you are going to sit up in here with Black Doodoo up in the live where he is talking about how he is messaging your girl, and she ain't saying nothing. You mean to tell me that these men are dragging you, and I'm not saying that she's actively participating, but she is participating by not stopping none of them. You mean to tell me that you still talk every day?
Bruh.
Friend.
We're not. And this is why people call him a Sim.
Which is the worst. Here's the thing, and this is probably the nicest thing I'll say. And for the record, I want people to know that I've kept relatively quiet about my feelings for Mike. Mike knows that. I know that. Everybody knows that. Everything I had to say to him was in personal phone calls. Even last year when all this popped off. And these were personal phone calls. I don't divulge what happens in personal phone calls, even if I don't like that person. Not going to do it now. It's not my thing because personal shit is personal and it stays that way to the end for me. Okay. Right. For somebody, so he knows. That being said, I will say that the sad part about it is in those moments when no one is around, in those moments where it's outside of whatever it is that TikTok is to him, he really could be a great person if he just went and got help and was himself. He really could be. Mike and I were friends. And people were like, oh, is TikTok there enough? We were friends. He really could have been lovely, just being a regular guy. He didn't have to do all this. I don't know, obviously he felt like he needed to, or that's just who he is now, but it didn't have to be this way. And I think that's the part for me that's like the worst part. It's like, you didn't have to do all this. Like, you really could have been great just being yourself. And I know that when you don't, and I'm not giving him excuses, and I know how hard it is when you don't believe in yourself or you don't have confidence. I can understand why you wouldn't rely on just yourself. right? To be good enough because you yourself don't think you're good enough. So you don't believe it when people say, just be you, we like it, right? So like that, to me, that's the sad part. But I also feel like, you know, just the fact of him knowing that I've given him the respect, because this is the first that I've really publicly spoken on this man, even last year, even when I knew that my friends might be frustrated that I didn't come out publicly the way that they did, right? I have my own, you know, he still chose to bring my name up, which was wild to me. He still chose to publicly disrespect people that made sure that they kept things private. To me, that was unnecessary. It was just like, what are you doing? You know, and that seems to be the pattern. And like I said to Mike in the live, the reason why you are dangerous is because you're cool until there's a because. And
Exactly.
you're cool until there's a what if. Like you're cool until I give you a reason, and then what you're going to do with that reason is what makes it dangerous. I'm cool until because, right? Like if you piss me off, I might say something slick to you, but I'm not going to be dangerous. We're just going to block each other and move, right? But his reasoning, like you might spill all my secrets. You might throw some vulnerable stuff back in my face when you have that reason. That's something that I would never do, no matter how much I don't, you know, and even now I'm not spilling things that I know about. I never will. That's just not what I do. There's no because that's because enough for me to do that to somebody. I won't, you know, so the fact that he would do that is what makes him dangerous. Like you're cool until, and I don't want to find out what that until looks like. And I don't want to find out what comes after the betrayal.
And honestly, I feel very sorry for the next group of people he latches himself onto, because you know he's already found a new group.
I don't feel bad because the people that he is latching himself onto are people on the messy side of TikTok. And if he thought that we didn't play, they don't play. I am telling you that the people that he is latching himself to is not the people that you want to piss off. If he thought pissing us off was a problem, he has no idea the people that he is messing with right now. Those people that are defending him, don't cross them. I wouldn't. And I ain't afraid of nobody on this app. I wouldn't cross these people. I wouldn't cross these people.
And he's not smart at all. Like he just does whatever based on how he's feeling at the time. And he doesn't think of long-term repercussions from it. He doesn't care. And to you, Cool, I'm just going to tell you now, be prepared for him to start making videos about y'all, dragging y'all in lives, telling lies about y'all. He's going to do it. I'm already warning y'all now. He did the same thing to us last year when we called him out. It's a pattern with him. So just be prepared. Just don't. It's just me. I fought with him for 3+ months and tried to debunk everything that he said about us. But don't do that with him. Just do your best.
This real quick. I'm gonna say this real quick, Cousin Jay, because now y'all found. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be fast because I'm finna go to American Deli and get me something to eat real quick. I hope he remembers who I am, and I hope he does not do that. Joker forewarned him on that. But if he does, and it's not, and I told him in 4K on this app to keep my name out of his mouth. And I said, and if you don't, X, Y, and Z. And I'm not going to repeat my words. And he said, is that a threat? I said, no, that's a promise. I'm going to say this. Don't let that dress down there fool you. Don't let my profession fool you. Do not let the articulation fool you. I don't do it. But I got folks that stand behind me that's always watching what I do on this app. That's to any and everybody. And one thing they don't play with is me. Why? Because I do the daggone work in my community. I stand up for those in my community. And one thing they're not going to let happen is a 5'4" little boy come for me. So if you in here listening, because I know you are, it's not a threat. It's a promise, little boy. Little Mike, it's a promise. You don't even have to worry about Cartel. You ain't got to worry about Black Doodoo. Well, who you got to worry about is Cool Ass, Pastor Troy, Maya. That's who you need to worry about. So keep my name out your mouth. Point blank, period. Now I'm going to get me some wings, y'all.
All right. Well, thank you for coming.
All right. Thank you for coming, baby.
Bye, cousins.
Send me a plane. Send me a plane.
Listen, I ain't saying to you now. I'm finna eat. You hear me? You heard
Man,
me?
what kind of wings you getting? I hope it ain't
Man,
lemon
I'm
pepper.
getting black folks usually do lemon pepper. I don't do lemon pepper. I get the Cajun joint. I
Ooh.
like
Drink
Cajun
some
hot
Lord.
food, so I'm gonna get the Cajun sauce with some blue cheese. AJ Vaughn, I'm gonna get that American Deli. You know what I'm saying? Steak and cheese with mushrooms. Oh, it's finna
Oh
be
my God.
popping. You
Hey,
know what I'm
send me a
saying?
picture.
I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna send you a picture. All right, y'all be good.
All right.
Javon, please be good. Please be good. Can you give me that, Javon? I guess that's a no because he's still on mute.
Right. Niece.
Ah.
We just got a prediction of who the next party is going to be that he's going to attach himself to.
And who is that?
Pretty knowledgeable just dropped it in the comments.
Let me see this because I missed that.
I'm so sorry, y'all. I had to run to my phone. I'm over here doing dishes, feminine trait. But yes, I don't agree with pretty knowledgeable at all, but she is correct. She's not lying.
Ooh,
I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know.
not just yeah.
I don't know who that is.
It's not just that person, but I don't know. Some of you guys might not know. Javon, you remember that little
Yes.
panel? Remember that little
Yes.
panel that was put together about a week and a half ago, where people were going to
Yes.
go into that Zoom,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Of like the 12 prominent, messiest sides of TikTok, and when I tell you guys, this got so many.
I don't know who that is, y'all.
I'll tell you.
I'm
In
gonna
the
text you off app on Instagram.
this group of people got so messy that they had to come together separately off the app and do a panel on Zoom to try and rein in their messiness. That's how messy this side of TikTok is. He's circling in these groups. When I tell you that these are not the people that you want to cross on this, and I'm not saying like there's real life danger. This is an app, okay? But as somebody like Mike who operates on this app and gets all of his validation on this app, these are not the people that you want to cross. You will not get away with it. You think that Heartbreaker went low. These people no, these aren't the ones. These aren't the ones. There's nothing nice about them. And you'll find me like lurking in their lives because I do find a lot of what they do entertaining. Some of them I don't because I can't stand them. But these are the people, these are the groups that he is circling in. These are not the type of people that you can get away with what he's done so far. It's never going to work. Like, you want to talk about get your shit dragged? That's a whole nother level. And he's not built for it. Like, I know part of the reason, and I'm not saying that Diamond is part of this, right? But part of the reason why I slow down on Black Diamond's lives is because I realize that I'm not built to withstand the bombardment of things that happen in her life. No shade to Diamond. Shout out to I like Diamond. And you don't have to, but I do. But this is like that on steroids. You have to be built a certain way to deal with this side of TikTok. He is not. He's not. He's not. And so if he thinks he's going to try this with them.
Oh, wow. And it's coming. We're going to hear about it. We're going to hear. It's going to be 10 times worse than this. We're going to hear about it. It's all good, though. It's all right. Let him bump his head.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be in the comments. I'm finna eat.
All right. Thanks for coming.
All right. No problem. Oh yeah, Jazz. That day, Mike was on Tasha's live. You chewed him up.
And I meant every word.
She said you PAN. I'm like, hold on, wait. Talk about Jesus. I'd have paused my PlayStation. I said, you always catch me
for a minute. The fact of the matter is, he blocked. My husband was gonna get up there and have some words with him when he did his live the night prior, right? But he blocked him. I'm like, wait a minute now. And then I told Auntie, I said, tell him I want to come up there and talk to him. And then Auntie was like, well, why aren't you gonna let her come up there? And he's like, because I like it that way. But you notice he tried to accuse me of all this stuff that I didn't do, but he didn't give those reasons for not letting me up there to confront him.
Yeah, but on Tasha's live, you chewed him up left and right. Like you said, up, down. I'm like I said, I had to pause my PlayStation. I'm like, hold on, wait, Jazz, what's wrong, baby? What's going on?
Not pause the NBA 2K on the PlayStation.
Oh, no, I wasn't playing. No. It wasn't NBA 2K. It was Call of Duty. I got shot and everything.
Ooh, and you can't pause that game. I know your squad was pissed unless you were playing solo.
I got some out in both English and Spanish. I really didn't care that day, okay? I was just that angry.
Man,
Okay,
listen,
everybody that's down in the comments, come on. There's no inactivity. Let's speed the activity up a little bit and tap, tap, tap the screen. We don't want that message from the TT gods. We don't want that message from the TT gods. Take the fingers that you use to rub, twist, and stroke some things, and you know what to do.
Lord Jesus.
Scuba, come on back. You're not welcome back up here till you sell that PlayStation and get on Team Xbox because you know PlayStation trash. That's it. Have a good night.
Oh no, 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 no,
Have a good
no, come
night.
on,
Have a
no,
good night,
no.
Scuba. Have a
I
good
love
night.
you, Woody, but it's team Sony.
Have a good night, friend.
We can cross play.
Go ahead and block him. Let me go ahead and block that PlayStation. Except y'all got held. Sorry guys, let me just say y'all got. You know what? And don't tell nobody this because I am so Team Xbox. It's crazy. Like I'll burn a PlayStation in a minute. I really thought about getting a PlayStation so I could play that Helldivers 2. I really want to get on that Helldivers for the PlayStation. But other than that, you need to sell that and get on Team Xbox.
No, come on with it. I got that PS5. Come on with it. Look at it. PS5, baby. She look gorgeous. She
She's
look
ugly. She
gorgeous.
looks ugly.
No, she is gorgeous, and she is gorgeous.
No.
Don't
We got that $200 Pro controller here. No panels because we don't cheat. No panels. Real life time. We don't cheat here. We don't cheat. Okay.
we faithful over here too.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful that we can have fun like this. This is what decompression looks like, y'all. Chico, you just came up. What you got for us, Sugar P? What you got, nephew?
Save yourself now.
Yeah, y'all pretty much said it all. You know, I'm just over here with Charlie. Even Charlie decompressing. He's like, everybody good, everybody copacetic.
That's why I got lo-fi music playing. You know, even though we're discussing something very intense, lo-fi makes everything better. Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, it does.